Hello, welcome to the Leadership Talk, Episode 1. Today I am joined by John Todorovich, who is a leadership coach, and we will be talking about why is having patience in leadership important? What makes a leader effective in all the efforts to make the team succeed? Why does the patience play such an important role in leadership? While many of us focus on different approaches and skill sets, we tend to forget the main driver behind the leader's success. John, is it true that patience is a virtue?
Hi, Chrisley. It's good to be here. I do consider it sometimes a virtue because some people pride on patience. But in this case, we're going to be talking about patience as a skill because it is a skill and it can be trained. I'm super excited to share some of the insights because when my journey in leadership started, it actually turned out to be quite effective because the first thing I started working on was patience. And one of the important factors that I learned along the way is that through practice, you can work it out.
So, John, how to gain and show respect with patience?
Well, patience in its own term actually shows respect already because if you're patient enough for yourself, you can also be patient for others. In the situation where you're gaining respect, you need to be patient first because respect cannot be gained overnight. And I found that as well in different leadership roles in life and in professional career. I have found that you can really gain respect through patience. So if you are patient for your team members, if you are patient for the entire environment, for the company, and even for yourself, for your own learnings, you can really gain respect tremendously and much faster than without the patience. But you can also show respect to people through patience because by being patient to listen what they have to say or what they have in mind, you'll be able to discuss things further and people and the team members will be empowered with that and they will know that that's the case. Okay, this is how I show respect to others.
So, I heard this quote the more you know yourself, the more patience you have for what you see in others. It's from Eric Erickson. What is your insight or what can you say about it?
That's quite a wonderful quote and it sounds like something that came to my mind a while ago because when I started off thinking and practicing patience, it really resonated the more you know yourself. I always talk about self awareness because you have to know yourself and you have to know everything that you do before you know others. Because if you don't know how you do things, why you do them, it's difficult to show patience and explore further things towards others. So, as you know yourself and the more patience you have for yourself, you will have more patience for others. Because if you are just trying to gain respect or show patience to others and not to yourself, it's not going to work. So it has to start from within. So it has to start from you.
Wow, that was wonderful. So, to gain and show respect with patience, you have to be patient and it will be from within. That was wonderful, Jen. Thank you very much. How can you improve productivity with patience?
Well, productivity is the number one goal of some of the companies because people always want to achieve results. It's always about KPIs, key performance indicators, increase the productivity, increase the performance of people. But sometimes they forget that people are naturally impatient. So, one of the things that you need to consider is how to encourage and empower your people to become more patient, therefore, to improve productivity. Because sometimes working something in a rush or working something by accelerating it may not produce the same results as working on something through patience. Because sometimes patience can be more effective because you will learn how to be more productive in a sense that you will consume less time to produce the same results that you used to do. For example, before when I used to do some analysis when I was still in the mid-level management, and I was doing some analysis in the restaurant business, I used to try to figure out all these magical formulas and work out the things and do as much as I could at once. Then I realized that through patience, I have learned to increase my skills. As I increased my skills, I was able to increase my productivity because those skills have eliminated the time gap and the time that I had to consume to produce certain results.
I heard this quote, and this is actually one of my favorite quotes from Saadi Shirazi. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. Can you share your thought about it?
Yeah, that hits the spot right there because anything that comes to life, anything that comes in life might go through some difficulties. Whether it's professional career, if it's personal life, anything that we're trying to achieve in life doesn't come easy because everything that does come easy does not turn out the way we expect it to, and then it turns into something more difficult. So, as the time progresses, you will learn that things that came harder through life and through experience were more effectively at the end produced, or they were more effective in the end as an outcome because there was patience involved. And even though it was hard at the start, it was well worth it in the end. Because remember, it's the outcome or the goal that matters.
So, it is very important that we improve our productivity with patience and that there is no easy way out and if you want to achieve big things, right?
Yes, absolutely.
John, can you share with me how can you provide more freedom with patients?
Yeah, freedom, the magical word. I always remember that movie Braveheart from Mel Gibson when he shouted freedom. I'm not sure whether they had enough patience at that time, but if they did, I'm certainly happy to hear that because providing freedom with patience means that you, as a leader, or you, as part of a leadership team, will provide more freedom to people because you will have more patience for them. If you want to get your team to perform better, you need to leave some space for breathing. Breathing space is essential because for top performers actually want to be left alone sometimes. If they know what they do and how they do it, it's important to provide that freedom and allow them to explore further and be more productive, be more effective. And therefore, patience will resolve in the general outcome that's going to be better for the individual, better for the team, better for everybody within the company.
Yeah. How about I heard this quote or I read it from Saint Francis de Sales. It says, "Have patience with all things, but first of all with yourself."
It's something similar to what we just spoke about earlier regarding the productivity also. If you want to achieve something, start by looking in the mirror. So one thing that I do on a daily basis when I wake up in the morning, I will face myself in the mirror because that's where the self-awareness comes from. If you can face yourself every day, for example, tomorrow morning when you do wake up, stand in front of a mirror, face yourself for a couple of seconds and just observe. What do you see? Are you patient enough to stand there for 5 seconds? Because people, even I used to be impatient. I'm like, I don't have time to stand in front of a mirror and look at myself because it's a waste of time. That's not correct. By observing, by careful observation, you can build patience towards yourself and then towards everybody else.
So if I want to practice more of patience, so I need to stand in the mirror every time I wake up in the morning, right? So I can practice with that. I can start with that.
Yes, absolutely.
So provide more freedom with patience.
Sure.
John, how can you develop positive attitude with patience?
Positive attitude. Some people that I spoke with before regarding how to think positively and what do you do and how do you do it. It's just the fact that If you're trying to rush things, you will encounter problems. If you're not patient enough for those problems, they will become a negative outcome. If you have patience to anticipate some of those possible issues, you will be able to develop that positive attitude because you are getting ready for a positive outcome. But even if the outcome is not so positive, you are still able to be patient and go through it because you're already anticipating certain things. So if you want to develop that positive attitude, definitely have patience because through that patience, positive attitude will start normally developing. You will have more patience for yourself also.
Thank you, John. How about, can you share your thought with me about this quote from Joan London? A positive attitude is something everyone can work on, and everyone can learn how to employ it.
Yes. Positive attitude. Yeah, it's again something that I call a skill. It may not be in everybody's vocabulary or in everybody's dictionary, but positive attitude can be developed. So you can use mantras, you can use daily reflections. That's something that I do on a daily basis. Before I go to sleep every evening, I will spend probably about 10, 15 minutes up to 20 minutes just reflecting on what I've achieved for that day. Through that, I will celebrate small successes, which will in turn result in developing a positive attitude and therefore more patience.
Thank you, John. Yeah, for me, I need to work on that more because for me to develop a positive attitude, yes, I agree that we really need patience for that. And I agree what you said about making a self like a mantra or something like that because that's one thing also that I am talking and empowering and uplifting. So thank you, John. So here's my last question for you for today. How can you improve time management with patience?
Yeah, time management, my goodness. Time seems like a mystery concept because whenever you consume time, you can never get it back. I actually heard that quote from her. So thank you very much. Time is one of the most expensive currencies, the most expensive currency in this world. It's more expensive than money, it's more expensive than anything else because you're constantly consuming it, you're constantly spending it. And if you want to improve time management, you have to be more patient to schedule yourself, to schedule your daily works, your daily projects, and everything else that you do on a regular basis. So if you want to improve that time management, you have to patiently consume your time. And to do that, maybe you can consider creating a daily schedule ahead of time. I find it super useful to use Google Calendar, even though it's one of the most generic tools that are out there, but it's free of charge. And at least I can organize my time better. So in case that there are travel gaps between the two events that I'm going to attend, I will improve my time management because before I schedule that event, I will immediately anticipate how long will it take me to go through from one place to another.
Wow. I heard this quote also from Abraham Lincoln. It says, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Can you share your thought about it?
Yes, that's an amazing quote from Abraham, one of the forefathers of United States of America. And he is absolutely right because he's going to make sure that his tool is ready for the work that he's going to perform rather than spend or waste those excess hours on doing something that may require significantly less energy or resources or tools. He will definitely look into the improving the skill set or the tools that he has at the moment and then maximizing. That relates directly to the productivity also. So you will have the best possible tool for the role that you need to perform at the specific time. And therefore you can improve time management.
Thank you, John. That is a real great insight that you share with us today. Wow, that was amazing, John. We covered 6 topics on why patience is important in leadership. Do you have any final thoughts?
Absolutely. One of the important factors that I have learned and developed in the early stages of my leadership exercise practice development was patience. I attribute a lot of my success in different leadership roles and in life overall to patience. I would really advise everybody to exercise it as much as possible because, like muscles, like brain, you can exercise patience also. You can keep on practicing, keep on working on it because the more you work on it, the more you improve it, the better outcome and the results will follow through. When I say results, don't think that this is just purely focused on performance based, but your performance will definitely improve with patience.
Thank you so much, John. I am so excited and privileged that I host this talk. And thank you so much, everyone. And this concludes the part one of the episode one of the Leadership Talk.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.